Getting old. So this is the car. We're gonna fix the car. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Graydon with Bavarian Autoclinic. We're back again with this 2003 BMW 540 Msport. Today we're going to be servicing the front brakes. We will be replacing the front rotors, reusing the pads as the pads are pretty much brand new. We're only replacing the rotors due to the old rotors being warped. So you can feel a pretty bad vibration under braking almost at any speed. So we're gonna go ahead and replace those. Follow along as we do it. It's gonna be real easy. This will be a short video. And then we'll take it for a quick little drive. Follow along as we service these front brakes. Follow along. Follow along. We're gonna take the wheel off. Very easy, simple. This 540 does not have the factory lug bolts equipped. It has a stud conversion, but same principle. You take them off. Okay, so now we got a good look at the brakes. First, gonna start by taking this clip off, and then we'll pull the caliper pins off, pull the caliper aside, set that aside, pull the caliper bracket, then we'll do the rotor nut, pull the rotor off. Installation is the reverse of removal. Lube everything up, make sure it's all nice and greasy. Put everything back together, drive it, good to go. Where's my pry bar? So this, you gotta, because you can always just, you know, I know, pop and chew, fly. We don't want that, we don't want that flying around. That's a safety hazard. Gotta line it up first. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Super easy, but all I did was stick the pry bar in, pry past these little notches here, pry it up, and then it popped itself out. My grandma could do this job. Just kidding, grandma would not do this job. Sorry, grandma. Get better access at everything so you're not sticking your head all the way in the fender well. You just wanna leave the steering wheel lock unlocked. Leave the key in the ignition, so that way you can turn the wheel by hand. Okay, we're gonna pull the caliper boot covers off. Caliper pin boot. We're pulling these off. These just prevent dust and road debris from getting into your caliper pins and dirtying them up. So the rotor set screws a 6. We want a 7. Caliper pins are gonna be a 7mm Allen. Break that one loose. Break that one loose. I should be able to unscrew them by hand for the rest of the way. There's one caliper pin. We'll clean those off and re-lube them. There's another one. Okay, so now you want something to hold the caliper before you take it off, because you don't want the caliper to hang by the brake line, because that's not good for the brake line. But you just want to wiggle your way off here. Pads will come with it. The back pad is set into the caliper, the front pad is loose, so just watch that as you're pulling off, yeah, because that comes right off. And I just loop it through right here. I loop it on the spring. Yeah, okay, good enough. Okay, so you got 2 bolts here holding the caliper bracket on. You got a short one and you got a longer one. Don't mess that up. I don't know how you could, but don't mess that up. They look a little big to be 16s, but yep, they're 18s. Oh wait. I put these on really tight last time. Wrench extension. Okay, let's loosen the other one. Okay, so these should be finger loose by now. I'm doing the rest of the way by hand. Okay, take that out. Okay, well, we recently did pads on this, so they are pretty clean, but every time you want to clean off where the pad sits, where the pad slides on. So right here, you can see where the pad's been sitting. You want to get that surface clean so the pads don't stick to the surface, so you get even pad wear. And you also want to make sure that the mounting surface here is clean, no rust, no corrosion. Nothing like that. Okay, so now we just have the rotor. Now need our 6mm rotor set screw right here. This shouldn't be very tight. You should be able to give it a smack, break it loose. Sometimes if you're servicing brakes that have been on here for a long time, these will be really on there, so you want to make sure that your Allen key is all the way in so you don't end up stripping this out. That's not going to be a fun time. Yeah, and they shouldn't be very tight. We'll just give this a... Didn't even need anything. Now it's loose. I'm going to pull it right off. Oh. You're going to want to clean all this crap off, all this rust right here. You want to clean that off the lip of the hub too. It's going to be harder for me because the studs are in here. But yeah, you're just going to want to go around with a brush, wire brush drill bit, clean all that up before you put the new rotor on. Because if you don't, very good possibility that you putting the new rotor on it, it's not going to sit flush, and then it's going to cause a vibration. Okay, new rotor time. Got some high quality Zimmerman rotors. Yeah, look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up that surface before we put it on, and then we'll put everything back together. Okay. Usually these studs wouldn't be here and they wouldn't get in your way. But this hub's still good. Bearing's still good. So we're gonna put the new rotor on. Cleaned up the hub as best we can, you know, without removing the studs. So got all that. We're gonna put the rotor on. You line up this hole right here with the set screw hole in the hub. Boom, just like that. Sometimes it is recommended to replace the set screw if, you know, it's corroded or you start stripping or stuff like that. You can buy these very readily available. But these are in good condition, so I'm choosing to reuse it. Just want to snug it up, make sure it's Guten tight. That was cooler last time. Edit that part out. Yeah, okay, perfect. That is sitting flush because I'm spinning it and there's no wobbling, there's no nothing. You look at that, that's straight, that angle's straight, that angle's straight, there's no wobble, there's no nothing. You get the point. Nut. So now that we've secured the rotor successfully, we're gonna go ahead and tighten down the set screw. Make sure that the rotor stays in place at all times. We're gonna give it a quick Guten tight. Anyways, much wow. So we're gonna brush off the caliper bracket, get all the gunk off, and then we're gonna slap some new lube on, bolt it back in. So now we cleaned this off, we're gonna go ahead and put it back in, put the bolts back in, torque that bad boy down, short one goes on top. You just wanna kinda line it up until you feel the bolt drop into the hole. Okay, we'll give them a... I'll look up the actual torque and see what the real torque of this is. Time to get out my special book. What am I going for here? Oh. Okay, so the torque for the caliper bracket is gonna be 81 foot-pounds. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna pop the other pad out. Ew. These pads are pretty much brand new. They have less than 1,000 miles on them. These are gonna be EBC blue stuff pads. Kind of worn away, but EBC, made in England. This vehicle is actually tracked pretty regularly, so which is why we went ahead and chose a aggressive pad compound. They give off a lot of dust. Track season is over anyways, so we've got some time to drive it, burn these off, and then switch to something when it comes to next season. Anyways, we're gonna wanna go ahead and lube up where the pad slides, so around this area right here, and where it clips into the caliper, so around these areas. right here. And which is why we ended up cleaning the caliper bracket, because that's where the pad slides. So we don't want anything sticking there. So this is stuff we use on the pads, lube up how the pads slide. And this is the stuff we're gonna use on the caliper pins to grease them up. This is for moving parts in brake and clutch systems, and then this is for metal-free permanent lubricant for disc brakes. But this is good stuff. You wanna use this stuff every time you service brakes. Oh. Just wanna lube it up. Make sure you get all the crevices and crevasses. Lube that side up too. Lube this up. Okay, we wanna pop this back into the caliper here. Perfect. And then we want to lube the other pad. Slap this bad boy back on. Bingo. Normally, if you were doing just pads and rotors, you'd have to retract the caliper. We're not showing that because we don't have to. Fantastic. Okay, so here's the caliper pins. We're gonna get all the old lube off. And if there's any gunk or anything, you're gonna wanna take a wire brush and clean all that off. So we're gonna take our other stuff, our paste for moving parts in brake and clutch systems. Just put a little on there. Just make sure the whole pin's lubed. We're gonna go ahead and slot it in. Make sure it gets started in the hole, and then we'll do another one. Put that in the other side of the caliper. We're gonna take our 7mm, make sure that it gets started here. Yeah, okay, so I'm spinning it and it's not getting started, so that means the hole is not lined up. Okay, caliper wasn't all the way on, sorry. Screw it in by hand. That's tight. Do that to the bottom one. And the torque for this is like 21 or 22 foot-pounds, so I will be giving it a Guten tight, and that will be that. Tight, tight. Put our boot covers back on. Okay, last thing to do is put this on right here. Holds the caliper, the front of the caliper, you know, in line with the bracket so it doesn't wiggle about as you're braking. Just keeps everything secure. So what I kind of want to do is, because they take a decent amount of pressure to line up, basically we'll do the opposite of what we did to pop it off. Line these up, these need to be over here, and then put some pressure, pry it, and push in at the same time. Boom. So everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. We'll go ahead and put the wheel back on. Then we'll go ahead and torque these to 90 foot-pounds once the vehicle's back on the ground. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Drop it down, torque the front wheels, go for a drive, make sure everything's good, bed into those brakes, and that'll be it. That'll be a wrap. Just finished this side. Gonna put all the lug nuts on, and we're gonna torque this thing and take her on a spin. Car, go. Go car. 90 foot-pounds. Cool.
You want like the handbrake on?
Nope. Nope. This is sick. Oh, we're gonna go the other way now. Boom, boom. Driving time. You're just basically going up to like 20, 25 miles an hour and just lightly applying the brakes. That's all you want to do. There's no hard braking, no sudden stabs of the brake pedal. And slowly apply the brakes. Get up to speed, gain some speed, gain some speed. Slowly apply the brakes. And we're slowly applying the brakes. Just you want to vary different speeds, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. Just kind of slowly apply the brakes, bring it back down. You want to give yourself plenty of stopping room between cars so you don't have to slam on the brakes, because that's going to be really bad for the brakes. You should be getting a pretty apparent brake smell. Yeah, there it is. That's apparent from new brakes. Pedal should feel good. You shouldn't hear a lot of noise, no major grinding or anything like that. Just you're kind of just breaking away that initial layer, basically, is what's happening. Is that a cat on a... Oh, that's just a really tiny dog. Very repetitive. You get the idea. Yeah. Alrighty, so just finished up with the front brake service on this 2003 540. No issues whatsoever. Did those new front rotors, no problems. Took it for a drive, bedded them in. Everything looks good. Subscribe for more E39 content. We've got plenty of other E39s that need a bunch of work. Some cool aftermarket parts we're gonna be installing. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe, you know. Like the video, would appreciate that. Comment what your favorite E39 is. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Ah! Pretty sure this one just comes right out. Oh! Okay, so this is a car. Oh! Hey guys, what? No. Hey guys, what's going on? Kago, bye-bye.
Take a thumbnail.
Cut. Cut. I'm cutting him. He's fired. Okay. So now we're gonna brush off all the hodgepodge on the... It's all greasy. Because I greased it up last time. Okay. Yeah, don't include that part. We're gonna cut that part out.